guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we are getting ready to head over to QA1. I have a little announcement to make also. QA1 has officially sponsored the channel. This is big news. I'm very excited for this, and our front end kit that we are picking up for Prism Mike is ready for us and waiting at their facility. They're also going to be taking us on a tour and showing us around, showing us all the parts they make and how they make them. And they're being very generous by doing this, so I hope you guys are as excited as I am. We're gonna head over there now. We'll see you when we get there. Dan Kara's filming the whole building and missing all the cool cars.
Oh, well, what do you just tell me? What?
Dude, this is nice.
You know what? They didn't build one here.
Alright, so they gave us safety glasses, cool visitor passes, and these flashy pink vests, which is really funny because my whole family's gonna make fun of me because I seem to always have something pink around me all the time, and it's just completely by accident. And now I got a pink vest on. So, Steve, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah.
Alright.
Hey, I'm Steve at QA1. I'm glad to have you guys out here. I mean, I think the pink vest looks good on there myself.
I pull it off, but my family likes to make fun of me for it. So.
No, it'll be fine. So we're gonna show you around our new-ish facility. It's about 3 years old now, built specifically for us, and we, you know, hot rod parts built in America. We're gonna see it.
Yeah. All right. And they have a shop dog.
He's the real CEO of the company. It's easy lazy. He usually doesn't do that with everybody.
I know.
New facility. It's about 3 years old. It's 101,000 square feet, and it keeps everything we do right under the same roof. Previously, we started with a building down the street that was 40,000 square feet, and then they added another 40,000 square foot building. But in the wintertime, the forklifts going back and forth between the buildings it was a sight to see. So this one was built specifically for us with the flow of what we do here. This is going to be offices with product managers, sales managers, things like that. We also have our marketing folks in the center. And then the back row there is our technical support. One of the things that we do really well here is the technical support. Right now we're averaging, I believe, 45 seconds from the time you call to the time you're talking to somebody that knows what they're looking at. And so our customers really appreciate being able to just call and get somebody on the phone right away. And that kind of stuff happens right over here.
He's got shocks sitting up on me.
Come here, you got something? You got a bar? You got a bar? The last one. So this is one of the corners of the warehouse. Right here you see our CNC sway bar bender. This is all Demir does all day is just bend sway bars up, put them in the machine. Really cool the way it moves the bar and just bends it exactly what it needs to be. Every bar is test fitted in a jig when it's done, so we know it's what it needs to be. Makes it real nice because you get a call on the tech line, hey, the sway bar's not fitting, you know, all I have to do is figure out what is the customer doing incorrect to get this bar fitted. So it's nice to have them made right here so we know, you know, it fits. And if we do have a material problem or something like that, we can fix it now rather than waiting on, you know, a slow boat from overseas somewhere. You got one? He's changing up the job right now, so we'll come back and see one of those bars done. So this is our laser, and this cuts out a lot of supporting parts. You look at things like our K-members where they have like 15, 20 different tabs, bent tabs, drilled tabs, things like that. Tabs all start here. So this machine cuts them all out. So everything as simple as a small tab we're going to make right here in the house. Just the quality control with the laser, the way that it cuts, the finish that it leaves. And once we get all 15 or 20 pieces, however many pieces go into a K member, a cross member, that C10 cross member that I'm sure you've seen, we're going to bring all of that together into a jig on the other corner where they're going to weld it up. We're going to see it all, but the amount of time that we spend on just each control arm, you know, it's amazing how much we start with this. And then it also, all of that goes into inventory. So on top of finished goods, we also have all the supporting components to put a job together if we need to make, you know, 100 sets of control arms or 50 K members or something like that. But yeah, laser goes all the time.
We're gonna do a shot of that. Yeah.
Here's another example of what our lasers cut out. So this is going to be one of the bases of the truck kit, the bolt-on rear suspension truck kit. But first it has to be bent in the press brake here. That's what he's doing. There it is, frame notch. So that's part of one of our truck kits, the C notch. Everything starts attaching to that, the trailing arms, coilovers, the whole thing. So it all starts over in this back corner with just making each little component to what we end up with.
Mullet. He's got a sick mullet. Huh?
Down this row is going to be more CNC machines. They'll make the supporting components for our shocks, fabrication irons. Fabrication irons we call like anything that we powder coat black. So the control arms, sway bars, frame notch brackets, trailing arms. So all of those small components are going to be made by one of these machines. This machine here is taking raw material and CNCing out this gland that'll go inside of one of our shocks. And there's just the precision that we can just spit them out all day. I mean, it helps. So these CNCs not only make supporting components for our shocks, fab items, things like that, but also we have an engineering department that just does building engineering. So they'll design the flow of how we do things. If we need a new rack, a new system that's going to make things more efficient, we'll use the machines to make those parts too. I mean, everything is on the table.
There's so much going on. I don't know where to look.
Like a round table of parts here in Lakeville. This is one of our double adjustable bases. So this is taking a raw piece of aluminum and just making just almost jewelry. We will still anodize this. They'll anodize this black. You'll see on our shocks it's a black base, but yeah, we're able to make these right here. Where
what does that start out as? How big is it?
These are solid bars. So this is an auto feed, and it auto feeds this machine. As with all of our CNCs, they're 24 hours lights out operation. So it takes the raw bar there and spits that up.
Man.
And because I mean, you can order this from overseas for nothing, you know, but we control the quality here. We control what it is.
Yeah.
And when we have a problem, which, you know, in the size of manufacturing, you do run into issues, whether it be a material or something like that, we can fix things right now. We don't have to wait. This is the machine that cuts all of our shock bodies. So we make a lot of different lengths of shocks. We need different lengths of shock bodies. This is again an auto feed. So 24 hours lights out operation. This machine will cut our shock bodies, and then it has a robot that will grab the shock body and it'll put it in the bin. I don't know how it knows which part of the bin is empty, but it just knows. And so another really cool automated machine. Here goes now it's grabbing one of those spots there. Dumps out in excess oil. So you can see from raw material, we're able to cut our coilover shock body. It's all threaded. This will go through QC, which I'll show you next, to make sure that the threads are everything we need them to be. Everything fits. Tolerances are good. Once that's complete, all of these shock bodies will be anodized clear, because it looks nice and shiny right now, but it doesn't, even though it's aluminum, it's not going to last forever. But if we anodize it clear, there's a good chance it's going to look like that forever. And I hope that was the right area of the bin. Greetings. So where we are now is the quality control area, and because we have so many parts being made with the CNCs, supporting parts we use, they need to be checked. Even purchased parts, if we purchase a part, we need to know it's what we say it is, and this is where we do that. So in here we have Tony, and maybe tell them how we check some parts and things we do to some of them.
All right, so in the quality lab, we check incoming freight, as Steve said, and parts we make in-house. We use a variety of tools, from basic calipers, like this one right here, to micrometers, height stands, drop indicators, our new CMM right over here, and right behind it is our brand new Smart Scope vision system. And then a Wilson hardness tester, gauge pins, bore gauges, things like that.
So we have the go, no-go gauges.
We have go, no-go gauges for threads.
So on a thread, that'll tell you it's go or no go. Also the hardness testing.
You want to see, this is a no-go good gauge for an M40. We use this on our shock bodies for certain.
So we have tools that will tell you that the thread is good, but we also have tools that will tell you that it's bad. And so it has to meet both of those. But hardness testing, rod ends is another industry that we're heavily involved with manufacturing. And so the rod ends, they'll do a pull test where they'll actually pull them until they break. That's really exciting. I really like that. But yeah,
it's one of my favorite things to do.
Just a mix of making sure things are what we say they are. That's what we do here.
That's crazy. There's so much going on.
There's a lot.
They're like precision pins. I hope it went in that. All right, I'm gonna leave now. You stop touching your stuff.
Hey, no problem. You want to see any, if you guys want, I can put something on the CMM you can get finished up at working if you want me to do that. Single adjust base. So this thing here, the CMM, we have fixtures for most of the stuff we make out in CNC or get in, and then we just align the fixture, and we have a pre-made program that we can just run. What this will do is it'll runs off automatic program, so it'll go pick up whatever probe head it needs to take particular measurements at any given time. So now it's going to come over and it's going to get some defining features so that it knows where the part is on the table, and then from there it just executes its entire program. So this program takes about 17 minutes to run in its entirety, and then when it is all said and done, it will give us the results for the data that we need to collect in an Excel spreadsheet that we can then put into our inspection reports.
So you can see it's not playing around here.
I've never been around so many machines.
I mean,
just do their own
and you
thing.
have machines that are kicking out these beautiful parts, and that's one thing, to have the parts beautiful for the customer, but they have to be functional. They have to be what we say they are. That's how we do it. So you can imagine how much time we spend on each K member or shock, which we're going to show you, and then where we build the shocks next, starting with one of those bases. There's another one of our shock body. I mean, we sell a lot of shocks, so we need a lot of shock body. Yeah. So this area here is the staging area for our shock build line, which goes down this way. In this area is where they're gonna, all the components to make one shock. Say they have a job where they need to make 127 shocks. They need to assemble all the components to make that 127 shocks, and nothing more and nothing less, and just keep it going efficient. So once you get your shocks later, you tell everybody, my shocks were made in America, which is not something that happens every day, but here it happens every day. So we'll go down the shock line. You can see that base that Tony was just checking. Here it is after being anodized black. Screws into our shock body, which we've seen the machine make, and they're beginning to assemble those double adjustable shocks. So this is where they'll hand build the shocks, put the rods, the glands, all the piston assemblies into them. We'll fill them with oil, put the closure nut on them. Some of our shocks are auto-filled with the oil. That's what this machine does here. So just depending on the shock, we have different series of shocks. Some of them are easier to fill with the machine than others, but most of them are hand built here. So coming around, once the shocks are assembled, they're all going to be dyno tested. Every single shock is dyno tested and serialized. If you look at the top cap of all of our shocks, they all have the individual serial number. So if, say, the shocks that we're going to give you today, the truck's ever stolen or something like that, I mean, you can trace those shocks back to the serial number. But also all of them are dyno tested. They have to fall within the parameters of what we say they should. Otherwise, they get taken back apart. But every single one is dyno tested, so this isn't an assembly throw it in pops. Put it on the shock dyno. And there it is, it's falling within spec. Once it falls within spec, we'll go on the conveyor belt that was built by our engineer. Goes on the conveyor belt, which essentially is a car wash for shop. And I'll show you that next. It does get a little oily there.
Get your white hey dudes dirty. It's like how it's made.
I love that show. It is like how it's made.
I used to watch that when I was little. That's crazy.
You just edit it like a how it's made and you're good. So this is the conveyor belt that's going to wash all the shocks. Obviously there's a lot of oil and stuff like that on the shocks, so we'll run them through the car wash here. This was, I believe, designed by our engineers. At one time we did have like a dishwasher type of, it worked, but you know, we're always looking for more efficient ways of doing things, even as good as we are today, and definitely helps. Once the shocks are all awash, they come down here. They're all still warm, just like laundry when you pull them out. So this conveyor belt is made so that if somebody's not here or they've got something else going on, it's going to stop it, similar to like the grocery store, so things don't get backed up. But once they're out here, we're running a batch of a specific shock. They're going to come over this way.
I'm paying the back.
So this is Teresa. She puts all the bushings, bushing stickers.
Excuse me.
If it needs a T-bar, a sleeve, you know, a lot of different shocks will call for different things that we'll put into them. So depending on the part number, that's what Teresa's going to put together here for us, and then it'll get stickers and it'll go right over here. Stickers! So over here is after the shocks have the bushings and the stickers on them, they're going to need to go in the box with the instructions, the stickers, warranty card. Another thing about our shocks, lifetime warranty on our shocks. As long as you don't use them as a golf club or anything like that, for the life of you. I mean, we take care of it. These are a very, very low maintenance shock. It's just a piston with oil in it. So there's no gas charge inside of it. There's no gas charge to lose over time. So it just makes it a real low maintenance shock. This is a very important step because our customers, I call this the Christmas Day test, right? We order car parts. You cannot wait till they arrive. Yeah. They finally arrive. It's like heaven, right? You want to put those parts on the car or truck right now. And a lot of our shocks have different size sleeves depending on the part number and the application. Very easy to put an incorrect sleeve in here and there, or put an extra sleeve, not enough sleeves. So one thing that our engineers have developed is this scale. Once this is all boxed, it has the stickers, here's the Christmas Day test right here. Christmas Day, that's what we want that to look like. So it has instructions, it has all the collars, the bushings, nuts, washers, everything good to go. And when you're done, if you have an extra sticker on that, in that box, it's gonna give you a red light, but that one's green. And that tells us that everything that we need in that box, that the customer needs for that successful Christmas Day test, is in that box and ready to go. And it's just a small step. Because, you know, things can happen. A sleeve can be left out or the wrong sleeve added. It kills the customer satisfaction when you get that part and you cannot put it on right now. We'll obviously send out the correct sleeve, but these days we don't have to because we know it's all in there.
It's just an extra sticker, they leave it in, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what the policy is on that.
We know it's an extra sticker. We don't mind that.
Yeah, so once that's all good, here they are on a pallet. We'll go over to our live inventory. It's all electronically controlled and ready to go to the customer.
It's
Sweet.
an overwhelming amount of
Oh, we're not even halfway
parts
through yet.
and this is crazy.
So we went to CNC. We saw all the tabs and things like that to make fab items. We'll go back to welding first and show them welding the fab item. And we'll come back here. This is where they box all of that stuff. Are you having fun, Casey? Are you learning a lot? So this is our inventory. This inventory includes finished goods as well as raw goods. So if you have a K member that takes 20 tabs or tubes and things like that, you'll find on our shelf finished K members in the box ready to go to the customer. You'll also find each one of those tabs or tubes or whatever we need to build it in the inventory too, and it's all electronic. So this is obviously a raw piece that we use for, man, I'm usually really good at this. I'm not really sure what this one's for.
That might be for the process.
Could be. But we have to inventory every individual part that we've made, as well as the finished good that this creates. It's a lot of inventory. That's why it goes up so high. This is our welding department. You can see from all the jigs, everything we weld is in a jig. We want to know that when we weld something together, it's not warping, it's not distorting, it's going to fit exactly the way that we intended it on fitting. So that's how we do this process. One of the pieces that we would have seen back at the laser area cut out. It's been slightly bent in the press brake, drilled out, and I'd imagine it's part of this, which this is a C-notch bracket for a truck. So you can see how much time we spend making that part. And this still has to be powder coated and then go back through boxing. And one of the reasons why I wanted to work here was I came to an open house and I saw all of it. No way. They're making parts here. It's nothing like that. You spend that much time like making a quality part and still somehow make money doing it. Awesome. So we'll go see some hand welding. All of our control arms are currently welded by the robotic welder. We have 2 of them. We just make that many control arms. Up until about 2 years ago, I think all the control arms, everything was hand welded. So the control arms are robot welded. For everything else, there's hand weld. Got a whole department here of our AWS certified welders. There's some bad dudes. See some of these welds, and they look like the robot did them. I don't know how they do that, because they definitely don't want to see my welds.
Yeah.
How you doing? Good. Anything hot on here? So here's one of the control arms. This is going to be actually a C10 control arm. It's got a crossbar that goes there. But you can see every little tab, every tube, we already spent time bending over on the other side of the building. One of the other things that we've integrated in a lot of our control arms lately is the ball joint housing. So previously we have our low friction ball joints that are proprietary to us, but when you integrate into the arm this housing, now you don't need a housing for the ball joint. You just have the guts and the stud, and it goes into the arm. It makes it much stronger, but it also takes that weight out where you have a housing and then the ball joint housing going into that. So we're just running just the guts of the ball joint in that control arm. Is that what you're looking for? That is a C10 cross member in the making, our new C10 cross member. Gets that truck real low, up to 8 inches below stock, rack and pinion steering. I'm sure you've seen it, right?
I've been drilling over.
Yeah, that's in process. Here's some more. Now, if you were thinking like, wow, they spend a lot of time making these parts. We actually do spend a lot of time, and then once they're welded beautifully, we spend even more time. These guys are the weld cleaners, so any slag, any imperfections, when you're welding, it's a dirty business. We'll clean up all of those areas before these items go to powder coat. Because it's not just having a quality part that's strong and fits and powder coated and the whole thing. I mean, you've seen some really beautiful parts and maybe have like a little bit of welding spatter next to a weld, and we don't do that here. It's just not what we're gonna do. So that's what these guys are doing. They're cleaning everything up before all these parts are powder coated. Just some more parts. Here's some finished sway bars. They're over here getting these end pieces welded in. About 5 years ago, we actually had a guy that would heat up the end of the sway bar and hammer it down like blacksmithing, and then we would drill the hole through here. So you can see the process has gotten much cleaner, much better. Now we make this end piece and we weld it in. It's a lot safer to do it that way. It's a better product. Like I said, as good as you are, we're always looking for the next way to improve. So it's fun to see innovations like that. Okay, so that is our welding area. That's our welding area. Look at these C10 cross members. Wouldn't it be cool if we just clear coated one of these?
Yeah.
Real industrial looking. It's just beautiful. I don't know how many pieces go into making this, but you can imagine how much time we've got into it at this point. And there's still some to go. Do you have any Mopar fans on your channel?
My dad's probably the biggest one.
There's a lower control arm for a Mopar. It's almost a shame to powder coat it, huh?
Yeah.
once all those parts are welded, cleaned up, powder coated, they come back for powder coating, and then they'll go over here to fab boxing, where we'll put the Christmas Day tests together for the control arms, the cross members. Do what? Yeah, they'll be doing it when we get there too.
Oh, we're not going there yet? Okay.
No.
My bad, sorry.
I mean, although things are spread out in the building, I try to keep the video like.
My bad. I'll shut up.
Otherwise, you're like, wait a minute.
This is why Steve does the tour.
Over here is where our control arms, once they come back from powder coating, they're going to come back like this. Look at that, C10 control arm. So come back like this. Obviously he's going to need the bushings, the stickers, the ball joints, the grease zerks, the caps for the grease zerks. And that's what happens over here.
They're on. Oh no, they're not.
Here's a example of a finished arm. So you can see this one uses rod ends for the pivot points, and this is a Mopar front coilover suspension upper control arm. But it uses rod ends as the pivot point. But you can see we've got our low friction ball joint in there. And again, we've integrated the housing of the ball joint into the arm. It is the arm. So now we can pull our two caps out. We can swap the stud in and out, rebuild it as needed. But yeah, our low friction ball joint, that's how free moving it is.
That's crazy.
Then those will go in the box. That happens over here. You guys arrived on a good day. It seems like everything I pick up is a C10 part. Over here's where the fab parts get boxed. So we need to box things. Just the amount of time that we spend in this. We've got C10 conversion instructions. That's my gig here, I didn't mention that. I write the installation instructions that everybody throws away. Thank you. But you can see the U-bolts. We've got the upper shock mounts. This is just one of the boxes that goes into that C10 kit. And we've got to make sure it's packaged well. When we come out with a new product, it's really cool because we have packaging engineers here as well. They'll create how we're going to package it, what kind of stuffing it needs and all that. So then what we do is we take the new kit and we'll just ship it all around the country. It's from dealer to dealer and just kick it around the country, you know. So then we bring it back and we can tell, you know, is there anything we can improve upon with just the packaging, the boxing of it? Does the box material need to be thicker? I mean, a crazy amount of time that we spend into this. But that's how we do it.
Not a lot of people that do that.
No, but I mean, it's worth it because you know how they can treat packages. Well, I won't even mention shipping companies. All of them, they all destroy them. So that is fab boxing. So we've got quite a bit going on with suspension, with shocks, the fab components. We've got all these kits. We've got rod ends, things like that. One of the things that Jim Jordan, our founder, before he passed away in 2014, he was real adamant that carbon fiber was the way of the future. So he spent quite a bit of time and money creating our own advanced materials division. And so I'll take you over there and show you what we do over there because that's crazy stuff. I don't know if you're going to see this anywhere else in America, honestly. This is a carbon fiber mandrel being wound to be a drive shaft. From start to finish is our carbon fiber drive shaft. This is our single winder. We also have a 5-axis winder that makes 5 of them at a time down here. What we're doing here is we're wrapping this mandrel with our carbon fiber toe. It's a resin that we developed with 3M to be a drive shaft. The engineers have figured out the wind angles, how quickly this machine needs to go back and forth to create a carbon fiber tube that we can make into just a bulletproof drive shaft. So that's what we're doing here. We have an assortment of direct fit drive shafts for newer Mustangs, Camaros, Super Sport, Challengers, and so those are direct fit drive shafts. No drive line modification, just pop in this new drive shaft that's, I believe, 21 pounds lighter than the factory. But we also make a lot of custom drive shafts for just any transmission using a slip yoke, 65 inches U-joint to U-joint or less. We can make you a custom drive shaft for that.
Wow.
The benefits of the carbon fiber drive shaft are going to be, it is much stronger than a chromoly drive shaft. It's on average about 30% lighter than an aluminum drive shaft. So we've got the strength, we've got the weight taken care of, and the third one is the safety. The carbon fiber drive shaft, if something were to come apart under that car, it's not going to destroy the underside of the car or the driver like a metal drive shaft might.
Yeah.
Carbon fiber drive shaft's going to come apart like in broom strands. And so you got the strength, you got the weight that we're all looking to save, and you got the safety. I mean, what more do you want?
Man.
So once this is done, they're going to have that same machine. It's going to put compaction tape all the way up and down that drive shaft, and then we're going to put it in our oven. So in here is our oven. We'll bake the drive shafts. And what happens during this process is that the mandrel will expand and the compaction tape that we've put on top will compress. That takes any voids, extra sauce, the resin that we use. Yeah. Sorry, I just call it sauce. But it'll squeeze all that out, squeeze all the voids out. Every 10-foot stick that we make, we do sample it, and our engineers put it under a microscope just to make sure there's no voids or anything like that. But the tube itself is very, very strong. Here's some finished 10-foot sticks. You can see there's slight ridges on there, and that's from that compaction tape. We have a couple different applications. Our direct fit applications use a black resin. There's a reason for that. It has to do with the temperature and how close those drive shafts are in proximity to the mufflers and exhaust. Our blue ones are the original ones that we'll use to make all of our circle track drive shafts. So a lot of circle track drive shafts, and also the customs for the hot rods, the drag cars, things like that. Obviously, we want to make sure that the strength of our drive shaft is what we say it is. Yeah. We've actually tested the tube, just the tube itself, and it's going to take 6,000 pound-feet of torque to break this. So obviously, the drive shaft is not. I mean, any car is not going to break this drive shaft. All of our drive shafts are actually rated by the size of U-joints that we're able to put into them. So we'll make them with 1310 U-joints up to 750 horsepower, 500 pound-feet of torque, and 1350 U-joints, which is our largest. That takes, we're rated at 2,000 horsepower, 1,500 pound-foot of torque. We have some drag cars that we know are over 2,000 horsepower, so there's some buffer in there, and it really is just based on that U-joint size. But you know, if a customer's not breaking 1350 U-joints now, they aren't going to break ours. So that's where we go with the drive shaft. My drive shaft in my car is 47 inches center to center, and with the billet slip yoke, which comes with our drive shafts, out of the box it weighed 13.8 pounds.
Holy cow.
And the heaviest part is that slip yoke, you know?
That's crazy. There's some little ones over here.
every drive shaft that we make is torsion tested on this torsion tester that our engineers designed and we built in-house. It twists the drive shaft. Because of the wind angle of the machine and the carbon fiber toe, we can build in a degree of deflection. And that deflection, what it does is, say you have a really violent like drag car that leaves real hard, that deflection is going to actually soften that, as well as like the violent gear shifts and things like that. It just makes everything that much smoother, really. Yeah, we've got a circle track drive shaft called Traction Twist. It does the same concept, and the engineers have figured out that you come up over a rut in like a dirt circle track, and the drive shaft will just kind of wind up, and then it just boing, shoots you off the backside of that rut. I don't know how they figured this stuff out, but I do know that all of our drive shafts are torsion tested and balanced. I think we have the tightest balancing clearance in the industry, and on top of making everything in-house. I don't know who else is doing that. You come over to our balancer. One thing that they told me when I first started working here, I wasn't really sure if they were telling me the truth or not, but if you look at this rack behind us, you tell which of these drive shafts are balanced and which ones aren't. These have a job number on them, so these have been going through the process of being built, but these have a QA1 sticker on them. During the balancing, because we make all these parts in-house, during the balancing, really all we generally have to do is index this sticker at the correct rotation on the drive shaft. And I thought they were kidding when they told me that, but that is how you know which of these drive shafts are balanced and which ones are not balanced, just because of that sticker.
Wow.
Every now and then, they tell me that they've got to sometimes put a little dimple in the tube yoke. It's something that you'll rarely see, but I think more than just a little dimple, if they have to do that for the balancing, they'll just scrap the whole thing. I mean, that's not how we build things.
Wow.
But there's your drive shaft.
Well, I'll see you guys later. We'll just go ahead and leave with this.
And it weighs nothing.
Yeah, I want to.
So our tube ends, we use an 11-step bonding process. It's similar to an aircraft adhesive. That's about all I can tell you about it. But I will tell you, I've told you that the tube itself will go to 6,000 pound-feet of torque. That bond between the tube and the tube yoke is actually the strongest part of this drive shaft. And then of course we put our U-joints in, which are going to be the weak point. We rate them to what the U-joints can handle, and that's it. Yeah, you can save a lot of rotational mass with that. We've had customers that have just done back-to-back. Had 2 customers that have told me they saved a 1/10 at the track, just by swapping to the drive shaft. I wasn't there, I don't have videos or anything like that, but that's what they claimed. So, just cool, innovative stuff that we're doing. God, here's some scraps over here. So when we take that 10-foot stick and we'll cut somebody's drive shaft and create it, sometimes we end up with smaller pieces. And sometimes we can benefit from saving these, because I think the shortest drive shaft I ever did, there was like a first-gen Camaro with a Lenco transmission and then a gear vendor's overdrive behind that. His drive shaft ended up being about 12 inches long.
Wow.
But we'll make a drive shaft like that out of something like this. It's a 120 wall. And a lot of people at shows will ask, you know, is this an aluminum drive shaft that's wrapped in carbon fiber? And it's just carbon fiber. That's all there is to it.
That's crazy. So when you guys cut this, it doesn't affect it at all? After you've made the drive shaft, it doesn't affect it just cutting?
The cut?
Yeah.
No. No, because we'll cut it clean.
I don't know anything about carbon fiber.
So yeah, actually the resin we developed with 3M for this, you know, I told you a lot of these drive shafts end up in dirt circle track. You can imagine how many rocks and things are flying around. So we've heard on the tech lines, like customers will call and say, are you able to drive those on the streets? And with the resin being so hard that we use, like, yeah, it's not a problem. I mean, dirt circle track and rocks flying around, we actually have a circle track driver that's a sponsored driver, kind of a big deal nationwide, Scott Bloomquist.
Yeah.
So we sponsor his drive shaft. We told him, we'll send you a drive shaft. All we want you to do is send it back every year so we can evaluate it, look at it, look for those things in that epoxy and see if there's any chips. He'll send it back. There will be a couple little nicks in the sticker. Other than that, it looks brand new.
It's cool how nice your parts are and how tough they are too.
I mean, we build them strong first. Like control arms are a big one. A lot of drag racers will be looking for the lightest control arm. But if you're looking for the lightest control arm and your car leaves the ground and comes back down on those control arms, I mean, you're going to want it to be strong as well. So in terms of our control arms, we don't build anything to be the lightest. We build it to be strong first, and if we save some pounds, which we usually will, it's just even better.
Yeah.
Who wants to go to the garage?
I've been waiting for that.
The garage?
Yeah.
The garage is the fun zone. We've seen the process of building the shocks, the fab components, the welding, how we put them in boxes, Christmas Day test. Now we're going to go into the fun area, which is our R&D garage. This is where we'll put the prototype parts onto vehicles. We'll put finished parts on there. We'll do all of our installation videos, tech videos that you see on YouTube. Can we wait? No, we cannot wait. Let's go. Ta-da! Ooh. Anything in here where you should not show on a camera? No, we're good. So this is our R&D garage. This is where the fun happens. We have the engineers who create the parts on a CAD model. We've got to do prototype parts to figure out if they fit. Do they fit? Do they do what they're supposed to do? So this is where we find that out. So we'll have different things in development. We'll have our D100 coilover front suspension with Gen 3 Hemi in it. That's one of the markets that we offer parts for. But we also have parts for just everything. I'll show you some other stuff over here too. Yeah. So we've got a big variety of things that happen in here. We are also an OE manufacturer, so we do have OE contracts with companies that want us to build things for them, not necessarily just QA1 parts. But we've got everything we could ever want as far as our F100 suspension. This is one of our original trucks that we'll do R&D testing on. If they have a new idea, a way to make things better, they believe, we'll do the prototype parts, we'll put them on there. One of the perks of working here is sometimes you get to take that home for the weekend, or take it to a local show or something like that. And if you break it, you don't get in trouble, because I've actually broken it. They're hesitant to let you drive it again, but I mean, yeah. But when we do full suspension kits, especially like the cross member for the C10s, a lot of different engine variations that customers will want to use. So we've got a little stash of different foam engines and transmissions that we'll use to test fit, make sure that things work. But the R&D garage is nice because if we have a customer or a couple customers that call in and say, something's not fitting right, anything's possible. So in the fabrication process, maybe something's off a little bit, but we can come out here and pull a part off the shelf, test fit it, see if we can validate their concerns or if there's something else going on.
You guys do minivan work?
Yeah, this is one of our newer projects. The Chrysler Pacifica is a big enthusiast market going on right now. So, no. It's just a company vehicle. If we're going to a local show, we need to pack it full of catalogs or stickers. There you go. Or if you blow up the F100 again and you need a ride somewhere, they go, you get to take the minivan. You don't take anything fun.
Man, this is a sweet truck. It's so bright.
Oh, and a Fiero next to it.
That's an off Fiero.
Wonder looks a little cleaner than ours.
Nice.
This Regal is a car that Motor Trend brought to us and did the suspension video that they wanted to do with it. So this one has the whole shebang. They took it out to Drag Week and put some passes on it. So this car went to Drag Week with our suspension on it. We're doing some more test fitting of certain things. But you can see it's got our drag racing control arms where we got our adjustable droop stop. And then our Mod Series shocks, which have the external canister. It's like our top of the line racing capable shocks. Another market that we're into now is the big wheel market. Taking the old 71 to 76 Caprice Impala and put like ginormous 28-inch wheels on it. Also the G bodies, they're getting like 24-inch wheels. So we can, while this is a drag car, I mean, we can also use this for our new parts to accept the big wheels and make sure everything fits, clears, all of that. Essentially, whether you have any kind of car or truck, I mean, we're a suspension company. And so if you have suspension on your car or truck, we want to be the name in your vehicle. One of the problems that we had with our existing G-body sway bar for the big wheel cars is that those large wheels going lock to lock take up a lot of real estate. So our front sway bar was not compatible. The wheel was hitting it. So our engineers designed this sway bar, which is our new big wheel sway bar for G-body, and it's tucked it into the frame. A lot of those guys will notch the frame as well, but at least with this new sway bar, and this is probably why this car is out here right now, we know that the sway bar isn't going to be the limiting factor for that customer.
So we can build a donk for the gym.
Yeah, heck yeah.
That's what we need to do.
Heck yeah. So then we just recently released our 2007 to 2018 Silverado lowering setup for both 2 and 4-wheel drives. We thought, well, we've got a company truck. It's a 4-wheel drive. So we dumped that way down. And, you know, that was used as our R&D car. So the garage is a mix of QA1 owned cars, local enthusiast cars, and you know, we'll bring in cars if we need to. We'll buy them if we need to, just so we can make sure they're what we need them to be. I don't know that anything's going on here.
This is what we need in our shop. Just a room that's separated from everything so we can
Clean.
more clean work done.
The reason this room is separated, there is a reason that it's separated, and yeah, I might get in trouble for showing this to you, Joey, but I'm gonna show you anyway.
Okay.
So this is behind the R&D area, and this is kind of like our top secret shock building zone. I don't see anything going on right now, so we're good. But when we talk about longevity testing, we have machines that will just put 1 million cycles on a shock, and we can validate that it's going to do what we need it to do. We can look at the wear items inside of the shock and tell, you know, what the shock is. And then this is like super top secret room where we've got a shock dyno in here that when this thing's going crazy, I mean, it's going crazy. It can apply any amount of force that we want at any speed. So we can check the cycle. validate the valving inside of the shock, the adjustment knobs. I mean, this thing's gonna tell us all. And it's really cool to see. But if it were operating, I wouldn't be able to show it to you. Maybe I shouldn't have shown it to you anyway, but I'll take that talking to. It'll be fine. And this is our engineering department, so this is where the magic happens, if you will. We'll bring a car in, a frame. We've brought just frames in also, and our engineers will scan everything with our ferro arm so that the whole frame will be inputted into our CAD models, and then they can base the parts off of that model. Once you make the prototype parts, then we obviously put them on, make sure they're fitted. But this is where all the engineering stuff happens.
Donuts.
Donuts everywhere.
Good. Yeah, you guys stay lean in here.
We eat our feelings.
I'm here for
It's
you.
stressful.
Stickers.
So we do the hot rod stuff, we do the hot rod suspension, we do the rod ends, we do the carbon fiber drive shafts. I did briefly mention some OE opportunities. A lot of them we don't talk about because we're making parts for other companies, but this is one that I can tell you about. Came in on a tech call, customer asking, do we make really small coilovers? Well, how small and how many do you need? Well, it's pretty small and we need as many as you can make. So this was born. This is an OE opportunity that we do talk about. And this is a baby coilover. This machine assembles the spring onto the shock. Each mobility scooter gets 3 of these. So a mobilized scooter for elderly folks, things like that, handicap. 3 of them will go on. And this machine simply makes it easier to compress this little spring onto the shock. And we make them all day. Dustin, who's on break right now, he makes them all day. And so there's an OE opportunity where it's not just always about hot rods, you know?
Yeah.
That's the sexy stuff, but you know, if say the economy's down, customers don't have the type of funding to put into their hot rods that they want, well, you're still gonna have to buy a mobility scooter, you're still gonna have to build bridges with our rod ends and, you know, things like that. So we try to diversify and keep things rolling.
It's super cool. Well, dude, I'm never immobilized. I'm doing QA1 shots on my scooter.
Grandma's rolling us.
I'm all getting QA1 upgrades. Oh. There she is.
So included in our new building is our new lunch area, complete with a store, full kitchen, and a garage door that we can open 2 weeks out of the year when it's warm in Minnesota. Jeez. We just got there, so we're excited
When we
about
came
that.
in, we were looking at all the snow that's still on the ground. We were like, yeah, this,
Holy cow.
we haven't had snow, I think, our whole...
I don't think we've ever had that amount of snow ever. That was a lot of snow.
Yeah, up here in Minnesota, we have the 5 month, we call it build season. It's not winter, it's build season. And when we just came out of that, it's finally getting warm, and of course it goes outrageously warm, which we're not gonna complain about. But we were able to open the garage door for the last couple days. Always a good thing. Here in the lunchroom, I have not seen this yet, but this is from some of our local schools. We work with the 4th and 5th graders on a program called Engineered for Speed. So it's a volunteer opportunity for employees to go into the classroom, and while the kids are building the soapbox cars, try to keep their brains going as far as like, how are you going to make yours a little bit faster than the other cars with friction and things like that, stored energy, kinetic energy. So things that we do for the local school, and I guess they've created this poster for that work. I still gotta get you guys one of those, some footage of that CNC sway bar bender. This is kind of the, well, this would be the east wing of our offices. And over here is production managers, people that figure out, do we have enough of this material to make how many of this, who needs to order the materials, you know, things of that nature. So that's what they do over here.
In the bathrooms.
I think I just owe you guys some footage of that sway bar bender because it's so cool, and then we'll go back up front and do things to stop and back type thing. Oh, there he is over there.
Well, we can run it if you want.
Figure it out. There's my guy,
Oh, he had to get the protein
the
shake.
sway bar bender. Sometimes I think with those arms, he just puts that extra bend in them a little bit. You got one?
I do, Rick.
See, they were just starting to think you didn't actually use the machine, you just bend it over your knee. You never put any final adjustments in it before it goes into the jig? So this is Demir. Demir is our sway bar bending expert. If you have a QA1 sway bar on your car, this is the guy that bent it. And I know it fits. So you can see, you can buy this sway bar overseas all day for nothing, but it's not going to fit. Yeah. It just makes it, it's just the way we do it here, and it makes it nice because our customers know that this is why they spend the extra money for QA1 parts. And they know that if they have a problem, they can call us, and we know if they're having a problem, it's probably not that the sway bar doesn't actually fit or is made to spec. There might be something else in the way, their exhaust or something like that, but it just makes it a lot easier to deal with fitment issues when they arise. That one, I would guess, is going to be, I'm guessing here, F100. The way the center comes down makes clearance for that rear differential. QA1 sticker go about right there so you can see it. After you pass people, they can see it. Yeah. And life is good, right?
Yeah.
Now, that's pretty much, you guys have seen all the whole process. I mean, do you have any questions about anything?
Man, I don't know. I'm speechless. I really don't know what to say. There's so much going through my head right now. But I've never been in a place like this or anything nearly as awesome as this.
Well, I hear we do have some boxes in the back for you.
Yeah.
They're waiting at the door. It is all of those parts for your C10, all in a box, ready to go.
Yeah, let's go check them out.
If you guys want to pull around, we'll load it up.
Okay.
Call it a day.
We'll swing around back and check them out.
All right. You're Joey Ray?
Yes.
Joey Ray. With one signature, here is your C10 suspension. Anywhere on paper says you received it.
Anywhere?
And that's it. We're ready to put this stuff in the truck.
Alright, let's get to it. So, literally all of this.
Yeah, all of it.
I guess I should.
I mean, we just appreciate that you guys came by to see what we do here. I mean, you've seen it now, so you can see the pride that we take in building the parts here, the materials, the quality. It's what we're known for. It's what we do, and so we're just happy to show everybody. Actually, I mean, we want everybody to see what we do.
Well, we appreciate you taking us on a tour.
Yeah, thanks,
and
Joey.
if you guys have any questions, leave it in the comments below. I'm sure I could try to get some of them answered for you. I don't really have a whole lot of knowledge on all this stuff, so my mind's kind of blown right now. But
well, and like I was saying, our tech line, we're averaging about 45 seconds, I think, right now, before you're talking to somebody. So if you have any questions about our parts or anything like that, I mean, you can always call us. That section that we walk through back there, I mean, that's all we do is just talk to our customers all day.
And I can vouch for that. I've had about 10 phone calls in the last couple weeks.
So you don't need to know about all the parts or anything. You can just have the viewers call us. We'll take care of it.
Yeah, awesome. All right, well, thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it. Make sure you guys subscribe, and we'll see you for the next video. I'll get these parts installed on my truck.
Nice.
Where do I start?
Hi, my name is Joey Ray.
No, that's stupid. Everyone knows my name. It's on the YouTube channel.
Hi,
My name is the channel, Joey Ray.
my name is insert channel name.
I'm the star.
You need an intro.
I know. I'm trying to figure it out.
No, like you need an
Oh,
intro
a channel
for, like,
intro.
all your
So,
videos.
are you gonna make an intro for me?
Morning.
Hey, are the cookies burning? How long do we have?
Yeah.
You have a timer on your phone.
We have 1 minute and 7 seconds left. Hurry up.
No, if this runs into cookie time, say it. I'm embarrassed. You guys are sitting here.
Hi, my name is Joey Ray 2.0 because I want to and can do an intro. QA1. This ain't no math class. QA1. It's a car park place, okay, ladies? First of all, for y'all that don't know, that click on this video, don't know what the f is going on, we went to QA1 and you're finna get a whole tour. So if you didn't know, now you know. Watch the video. Done! Done!
I don't know what to say.
Hi, my name is Joey Ray. I'm a firefighter.
I am a firefighter.
You have to keep that in the edits.
Bloopers.
Oh god.
This is how I hype for my intros. I'm a firefighter.
Is it recording?
Yep,
Can you see it on the screen?
yep.
Okay, then shut it off.
Okay.
You can shut that off for now.
bro. I'm not just in your truck. They got. You got reset on your rubber.
Can I stop the recording?
Yeah.